So here is what we're going to be doing today. Okay. If you're here right now, how many of you, and you can use, the react button, use the react button. You should be able to see this. But how many of you have had one of these thoughts cross your mind recently? Any of these thoughts cross your mind? One, I want to scale my business, but I have no idea how to do that. And I don't know how to use LinkedIn to do it. So if you're here, you have a business, you have no idea how to do it. You know that you need to scale, right? You have responsibilities at home, you have responsibilities in your family, you want to travel more, you want to take care of your kids, have no idea how to do it. Okay. Now, how many of you have had this thought cross your mind? I see people making money on LinkedIn and I have no idea how that's happening. Like you can see, like, Toby posts about it, Don posts about it, all these people post about it, like, oh my God, they're making money on LinkedIn. You're like, does LinkedIn pay people like TikTok pays people? You have no idea. Where is the money coming from? Where is the special pot? Okay. How about this thought? I'm just starting my business and I want to find a way to generate more traffic and leads without paying Facebook or for ads. This is one that I get all the time. This is where we were. My business was absolutely dying. When I say dying, I mean like last breath. And Mark Zuckerberg had already taken some of my money. Okay. So you've had that thought cross your mind. Now, how about this? How about this one? I get this one all the time too. I hate cold outreach. Is there a way to use LinkedIn to drive inbound leads? Guys, I worked in sales for 4 years. Until today, I still hate cold outreach. If I have to like message someone absolutely cold, I like tremble. How about this thought? I want to grow my side hustle so that I can retire from corporate. Can I do that? This was my question. I didn't really care to be a millionaire or to, I didn't really care. I just wanted to find a way to leave my full-time job so that I could travel more and spend more time with people I love. That was truly my ultimate goal. Like I didn't get into LinkedIn to be here teaching you this today. I literally just wanted to grow my side hustle. Here's another one that I get, a thought that will cross your mind if you've ever thought about business. Okay. Everyone says I have to be on all the channels, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Google, SEO to grow my business. And it's overwhelming. If you've ever thought that as a business owner, like everyone's like, oh, you have to do this and get this agency and do this. Okay. And the final one, here's the question if you're here, a thought that's crossed your mind. How realistic is it to make $100,000 on LinkedIn as a normal person with a small following? Like how realistic? Like is Toby just selling us a pipe dream? Right? If any of these thoughts have crossed your mind, any of them, can you just put like a thumbs up or like a heart or like a laughing emoji, just anything? One of these thoughts has crossed your mind, just just react so that I know that I'm not like making this up. Okay, I see lots of thumbs, which is great. Okay, this is exactly what I'm going to talk about today. I had every one of these questions. I built this exact presentation for who I was 3.5 years ago. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you a dream. I'm not gonna tell you that it was easy, but I'm gonna tell you real life stories. Okay, and then we're gonna take questions. I'll answer your questions genuinely. Okay, so if you do not know me, my name is Toby. I've been making content on LinkedIn since May of 2020. I made a post, it went viral, 300,000 hits or impressions on LinkedIn. I had no idea why. I had only 1,000 connections at the point. I had no clue why it did that well. But I know that one little sign like that is enough for me to follow it for a long time. So I made a decision. I set an alarm every day at 10 a.m. I'm going to create content and post it. Doesn't matter what it is. My first post used to get 24 likes. Doesn't matter. I'm going to create content every day for in an indefinite period. So As of today, I am on day 1024 of creating content on LinkedIn. Day 1000, just think of doing anything for 1,000 days. I am on day 1024. I checked, of creating content on LinkedIn. I spent countless hours studying how this place actually works. How does this actually function? It took me over 1 year to grow to 10,000 followers. Okay, I have students that do that now in 3 weeks. It took me 1 year, 365 days, a little more actually, to get to 10,000 followers. It took me another 8 months to grow to 22,000 followers. And then I hacked it. I understood the data and how the algorithm works. People go, there's no algorithm. There's an algorithm. I can prove it. So it took me 8 months to grow to 22,000 followers. I understood the platform, and then it took me 8 months to grow to 100,000 followers. All of a sudden, in 2022, LinkedIn changes everything. They literally, like, I watched it happen overnight. I went from averaging 1 million to 2 million impressions every week to averaging like 100,000, 200,000. They changed everything. But I am a student of the game. I'm in this to win it. So I went back to study LinkedIn again, and it took me 13 months and I grew to 200,000 followers. Last month in January, I grew by 25,000 followers. I have absolutely spent my time understanding why this place works the way that it does. Okay. In year one, I got 4 million impressions on my content. I had a student last month that got 3.5 million impressions in her first 8 weeks creating content on LinkedIn. It took me 1 year to do that. In 2021, the year after, so my second year, I got 11 million impressions. In 2022, I got 77 million impressions. In 2023, I got 50 million impressions on LinkedIn. And so far in 2024, I'm at 15 million impressions. So that's a total of 160 million impressions that have driven almost $1.1 million in revenue for my business. I want to like caveat this by saying some of you know me personally and you knew me before LinkedIn. I am a normal person. Like these results, when I tell them to my mom, she's like, what are you talking about? Like these are not real numbers. I'm a normal person. I'm listing my credentials to you because there are a lot of LinkedIn gurus that say they are gurus. Okay. But I've done my 10,000 hours of mastery on this platform. So I highly encourage you to take notes. I highly encourage you to take notes. You will find this valuable. All of these numbers mean nothing if you don't understand the real why of why I do what I do. Here is the real why. It's allowed me to buy my first home. As an immigrant in Canada, LinkedIn allowed me to buy my first home that I can now pass on to my future kids. It allowed me and my wife to quit our jobs at Shopify, a great company, making 6 figures. And we quit our jobs, walked away, and now we get to travel the world. We work anywhere in the world and we travel the world. It's allowed me to take care of my mom's rent. And I bought her a car last year, which was one of the most fulfilling. I still have the video. It was one of the most fulfilling moments of my entire 29-year life. It has allowed me to fly my dad in so we can spend Christmas as a family together for the first time in 11 years. It allows me to wake up without an alarm every day. I don't have an alarm anymore. It's one of the best things. It's essentially given me the time and money freedom that retirement promised me, but it's given it to me 37 years before my retirement age. So now I get to be present for every birthday, every important milestone. I get to visit a new country every single month. And this took me 4 years to build. I'm 29 now. So as you go through this session, just picture what could happen in 4 years from now. That would be 2028 or 2029, right? Depending on when you start, right? So what I'll be teaching you today is not just so you can like get rich. Like I hate get rich quick schemes. By the way, I tried every one of them from when I was 18 to when I was 25. None of them got me rich or quick, like the whole thing, nothing. Okay. So it's really so that you can find a way to buy your time back and become free if you want it. That's really what money's for. Okay. So I did all of this as a normal person. Here's what you need to know. I'm about to dive into the four-part framework right now. I just wanted to preface this. Here's what you need to know. LinkedIn has over 1 billion users now. It's 3 times the size of the whole United States. Okay. Here's what I want you to know. You do not have to be good to make $100,000 on LinkedIn. You do not have to be great to make $100,000 on LinkedIn. You have to convince, not even convince, find 50 to 200 people who need something valuable that you offer, and you can generate $100,000 every single year on LinkedIn. For the record, I checked Google. That is 0.00005% of the entire audience on LinkedIn. This is a mathematical equation to doing what I'm about to tell you. Okay, so my goal by the end of this call is that you should be able to take this info and run with it. Even if you don't do anything else with any of my programs, or even if you never see Toby again, you should be able to take this content and run with it. Here is the 4-part framework to make $100,000 on LinkedIn, as proven by me and all of the people that I've worked with for the past year and a half. The first thing is you must build authority. You must build authority. This is the first pillar. If you want to make any money on this platform, you must be credible. LinkedIn is the grown-up platform. This is where people come with their suit and their tie and their boss watching, and they don't cuss, right? Like, this is a professional platform. This is where we come to be grown up. Things are serious here. Okay? So the first question you should ask is, why on earth should anyone listen to you? Out of the 1 billion people on the platform, why should anyone listen to you? Why did anyone listen to me? This is the first question you must ask. Think about it. Why do we listen to anyone? Any expert, any random person, any CEO? It's because they have built their authority, either by achieving really great things or by borrowing that authority. Oh, they went to Harvard. They're borrowing the authority and the credibility of Harvard, right? Or they came out of Y Combinator, right? A lot of people are just normal people that have built authority. So the first part is you have to build authority. If you run a company, a SaaS company, a marketing agency, a normal, I don't even care, a B2B, B2C, A to B, A to D company, people must see you as credible before anything happens. Before they listen, before they read your content, you must be credible. And understand that that credibility is then over time, because consistency builds credibility. Now you show up, I've showed up for 1,000 days. Now you show up again tomorrow. Now you show up again tomorrow. That then establishes your credibility, which then gets people to trust you. And no transaction happens without trust. Without trust, there is no transaction to be made. So you want to build authority. A lot of people start out on LinkedIn giving advice. They just show up one day, here are 5 ways to change your life. I'm like, bro, who are you? That's like someone you just met for the first time walking into your home and telling you, you should move your couch over there. It's a better angle. Like, who are you? Are you a designer? Like, but if they say that they're from Architect Digest, now you're like, oh, is it the feng shui? Right? I see so many people, they just hop on LinkedIn. Here are 7 ways to do what? You have no permission. Authority, write this down. Authority gives you permission. Once you have established authority, why does anyone listen to Toby? Authority gives you permission. So how do you, as a normal person, I'm talking to like the normal people today. If you're here and you got like 200, 300,000 followers, You see where it says, the 4-part framework to make 100K? You should be going the 4-part framework to make 250K. If you have already a following. If you are a normal person, though, here's how you build authority. The first thing you do when you start on LinkedIn, you share your authentic story first. This is your story, your struggle, what you overcame, where you started, and where you are now. That is what will give you permission to now speak to me in that area or in any other area. If you check my first pieces of content, I was just telling people I'm an international student and I came to Canada, and after 7 attempts, I finally gotten into a good company. And my parents are proud of me. That was literally, if you scroll back all the way back, 2020, this is what I talked about. This is where my authority came from. You know what happened after that? There were publications calling me, hey, we love your experience as an international student. Can you come talk to our international students? Or can you come? I remember the Ottawa Business Journal interviewed me to share my experience as an international student, a publication, right? So that's the first way you build authority. You share your authentic story first. Don't show up telling people what to do. I'm not listening to you. I'm sorry, right? There's a billion people here. By the way, of the billion people, only about 3% of people create content on a weekly basis. If you've ever wanted to join the 3%, this is the fastest way to do it. 970 million people are watching 30 million people do the work. You're on stage and people are just scrolling, and you get to share and partake in the billions of views. Okay. The second way to build authority is you start sharing valuable resources. This is the second step. If you're in marketing, you own a marketing agency, you're a B2B company, you sell, I don't know, what do B2B companies even sell? You sell something, right? You sell software, right? Give me some tools, give me some insights, give me some resources. Make me better at my job. People are inherently selfish. They don't care about your tool. They don't care about your insight. They don't care about your business. They don't care about your revenue. They care about themselves. Now, if you make me better, if you equip me with new resources, with new tools, look at the fastest growing accounts on LinkedIn last year. They were almost all AI bros. People that were coming in going, hey, AI might take your job. Hey, here are AI tools that can help. Hey, here are AI tools that will make you better at your job. They grew. I saw one guy, Zane, grow from 0 to 800,000 followers. Why? He made everyone's job easier. He deserves 800. Zane, if you ever hear this, you deserve the success that you got. I still use tools that you gave me. If you're going to establish authority, share valuable resources. You can't just come here, start going, hey, we have this offering. Do you want to be a lead so we can sell you stuff? Like, no. Provide value for me. It is the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. Again, 80% of your value should be given out for free, and then you monetize the 20% that comes in. And as your business grows, you can then start to monetize 25, 30% through outbound efforts with validated data from the people that you got inbound, because it is imperative at the beginning to find people that are looking for you. You are looking for people that are looking for you. That is how you start to build authority. The third way to build authority is you borrow it. I watched a guy last year grow his platform by going, hey, I was at this random company I've never heard of that grew from 0 to $100 million, and I was the head of sales. Everyone goes, whoa, this guy must know something. I'd never heard of the company. It didn't matter. They grew from 0 to $100 million, and the guy was there for the ride. I'm going to listen. He ended up building a sales boot camp. Do you want to guess what happened? Like, what are we talking about? Hundreds of thousands of dollars generated helping people. Why? Sharing his authentic story. He's sharing valuable resources. Here's how you can accelerate your career and your sales team. And then he borrowed by going, hey, we already did it at this company. Or if you worked at Google or Shopify or any of these places, tell some stories about where you worked at Google and how some things got messed up and you fixed them, right? You can borrow authority. Now you have the credibility. Now you can actually start to speak to me. And the best part is it doesn't take months to build authority. It does not take months. I just had a student last year, towards the end of the year. She made her second post going through the program, got 1 million impressions. 1 million impressions. She had 2,600 followers, and the post got 1 million impressions. I know these sound like fake, but they are real. I have them on my website for a reason. They are 100% real. 1 million impressions. And you know what happened? She sends a cold message to her favorite author and goes, hey, I made this post. I thought you might enjoy it. Her favorite author is a New York Times best-selling author. Like hundreds, like you've probably read her books. If you ever heard of Kim Scott and Radical Candor, okay? So she sends a message. This is authority. The author replies and says, hey, would you like to do a LinkedIn event with me? And they do a LinkedIn event together to 70,000 people in the author's audience. That, do you understand how much authority that is? That happened in the first month. It does not take a long time to establish authority. So if you're a business owner or you want to own a business or you've already started building, you must build authority on LinkedIn. Okay? You cannot make any money on LinkedIn without establishing authority. So if you're taking notes in your notepad or your journal or wherever, just write down build authority. That's the first pillar. It's also the longest pillar I probably have today because that's the one everyone skips for some reason. You can't just show up on LinkedIn and start telling people stuff. You got to be consistent, yes, but you got to build that authority. Okay. The second pillar, I hope you're still following. If you're still following, can you just give me a little reaction? I'm going to react, a little heart, a little thumbs up, a little, I like the applause too. That's cute. Okay, great. All still following. Amazing. If anyone's missing this and you think they should be here, text them. Okay. Second thing, you must create optimized content. LinkedIn has said, the editor of LinkedIn literally came out and said, we do not want to be Facebook. Have you noticed the decline, the very steep decline of selfies on LinkedIn? They do not want to be Facebook, which means they want to be something, which means they have built the algorithm to optimize for what they want LinkedIn to be known for the content they want to succeed on LinkedIn. They have optimized for it. They have created a way to constantly push that to the top of your feed every single day. They have created a way for content to get 180, 200,000 likes because that's what they want to see. My number one post ever has 13 million impressions, 190,000 likes because it talks about market adjustments in salary. My second post talks about the 9 or 8 lies people get told in their career. It has 8 million impressions. Why? LinkedIn wants more of this. Okay? So it's not just about creating content. I'm going to be honest. I hate terrible content because you have an opportunity to understand how LinkedIn works and use it to accelerate your career. I have one student who does not want to run their own business. They literally never want to run their own business, but they generate about $70,000 on LinkedIn now through brand deals. They grew their platform by creating really, really optimized content on LinkedIn. It took them a year and a half, and now we taught them how to monetize that content because there's so many different ways to make money on LinkedIn. We tell them how to monetize that content, and they're doing $70,000 a year in brand deals. Just brand deals, $2,000 to $4,000 per post to include companies that they were already using. No company, no employees, no business model. 70,000 is more than I made in my first 8 attempts building a business, by the way. That's why I say this is a 4-part framework in making 100K a year on LinkedIn. Not through running a business. You can through running a business. I'm going to teach you how. But if you understand these principles, you can do it. The editor, the chief editor of LinkedIn has said they don't want to be Facebook. So how do you create optimized content? Your content must resonate with people. LinkedIn is a job platform. That's how they build it, the professional platform, right? So anything you are posting about must take the career, job, business angle. It has to, every story has an angle. You can write that down. Every story has an angle, and every story has multiple angles. So I had one student that was building a travel app, and she goes, how am I supposed to build a wait list for this travel app? I'm like, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea how to build a travel app, how to build a wait list for a travel app. I know nothing about what you're trying to do, but I know LinkedIn. If you talk about the fact that people want to work remote so they can travel more and enjoy their lives, I think you might actually be able to build something. She did that. And her first post got, again, 1.1 million impressions. Her second post got 2.3 million impressions. And she built a wait list, I'm not exaggerating, of 18,000 people for a travel app on LinkedIn. What does LinkedIn have to do with travel? Nothing. This is your job, to create content optimized for LinkedIn. Authentic content that does not have to be private. By the way, private information has no business on social channels. There is a difference between personal and private content. You do not see me post private content. Nobody knows where I am at any given time on purpose, unless you know me personally, right? That's on purpose. There's a billion people here. But you can create content that's personal, that only can be found with you. This is your job, to create optimized content for LinkedIn from the LinkedIn content angle. Okay? And so I've seen it happen multiple times. I'll tell you 2 stories. I had a student join my program last year, 980 followers. He joined the program at. Hadn't made money on LinkedIn yet, but wanted to make money, just had a kid. And he was like, I need to spend more time with my kid. I need to make money outside of my job. And so he comes into the program. He grows from 980 followers. His first week, his 5th post gets 100,000 impressions. His 5th post, 980 followers, 100,000 impressions. And immediately, I'm like, now you can add the link to your offering, your B2B service, your whatever, because there's 100,000 people here, which we're going to talk about. But he goes from 980 followers to 9,000 followers in 5 months. And now this lady makes more than the CFO of her company, and they're just an individual contributor. No business, or I guess they have a business, but no employees. It took me over a year to do that. It took me more than 2 years to get to that point where I was making enough money to be like, oh, I'm good. So you have to create LinkedIn specific content, and LinkedIn will reward you. LinkedIn is positive in the sense that it rewards you for doing what it wants. It's also negative in the sense that it punishes you for doing what it doesn't want. Okay. But I literally had another client who grew, and again, I tell these stories because like they're fascinating to me. These are normal people. Okay. But she's a recruiter, started creating content on LinkedIn, grew to over 500,000 followers on LinkedIn. Did it in record time, like a year and a half. At some point, LinkedIn loved her content so much that every new user that was joining LinkedIn would get an email from LinkedIn saying, hey, here are some people to follow with her face and her account on it. So LinkedIn will reward you for creating content that they want. She didn't ask for, you can't even ask LinkedIn for that. Does that make sense? It's an unusual case, but it can happen. That person made as much from their job last year as they did on LinkedIn, or as much on LinkedIn as they did at their job. Their full-time 40-hour-a-week job. And LinkedIn, the social platform. Okay. So second thing I want you to write down, create optimized content. It must be optimized for LinkedIn. Okay. And if you're with me, let me get another reaction. Anything you want, little heart, little thumbs up. I want to know you're still awake. Amazing. Lots of hearts, lots of thumbs up. Great, 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 great. Incredible. Okay. The third thing. All of this is great. All of this is great. People believe that you're an authority in your space. Your content is going around. How does that translate? Here's the third thing. You must drive traffic to your website. You must build authority, number one. You must create optimized content, number two. Number three, this is the third part. You must drive traffic. You cannot ever let momentum go by. If you have a clothing line, let's say one of you here is called Prince. You have a clothing line. Your clothes are 20 bucks. I have a clothing line. My clothes are 60 bucks. I try to sell by walking around and randomly asking people, do you want to buy my clothes? Do you want to buy my clothes? You try to sell by going to a baseball game that has 50,000 people there, 30,000 people there, and your shirt says, I was born to watch baseball. And you're outside the stadium. You just got a little stand there, says, I was born to watch baseball. Who is going to make more money and who is going to sell out first? As soon as you start creating great content, any piece of content that does well, lots of reach, lots of engagement, and there will be some because you're creating optimized content. You must now put a link to your website and drive traffic. You must. You cannot ever pass up on momentum. I grew my email list to 22,000 people doing this. I grew my webinars to 17,000 people in 2022 doing this. When there is momentum, there must be a call to action. That call to action must be in the content. In the content, in the comments, I don't care where it is, there must be a call to action because lots of people equals traffic. So you have to update your content with the link or put it in the comments, right? Because if you are not driving traffic to your offer, then you are wasting your marketing. LinkedIn is a marketing platform. It is a professional networking platform. Yes, it is also a marketing platform. Anywhere with 1 billion people is a marketing platform. That's why Meta is a marketing platform. TikTok is a marketing platform, right? LinkedIn is a marketing platform, but it only works if you drive traffic. This is the third pillar. You drive traffic to something, anything. You must drive traffic so that people know. Here's the number one reason businesses fail. Nobody knows that they existed in the first place. This is a serious thing. You have to drive traffic. While I was working at Shopify, I saw someone who was selling a course on how to do handstands. I wish I was, exaggerating. They were selling a course on how to do handstands, which, by the way, you can learn on YouTube for free. This person was doing $250,000 a year because he was telling everybody on the internet through his channels that he teaches how to do handstands for $50. What is that? What even is that? One of the fastest growing companies in Ottawa today is a company called Bushbaum by a guy called David, who worked at Shopify. Incredible guy. David, if you ever hear this, you are incredible. He grew Bushbaum while he was at Shopify all the way to over $1 million, quit, and then grew it past the $10 million mark. He's a truly incredible story. What Bushbaum sells is creams and ointments for ingrown pubic hair and ingrown hair in like your armpits and stuff. First of all, I didn't know that was a problem for like a majority of people outside of me. Okay. But the other thing is, I didn't know there was a market for it. He's in 900 Ulta beauty stores. I mean, this is incredible. The number one reason people don't buy stuff is because they don't know it exists. So when you create content, you must drive traffic to your content. And then you must drive traffic from your content to your website. You have to drive traffic, put a link in there and drive traffic. That is the third pillar. Okay. So if you're still here, just write this down, drive traffic. This is pillar 3, drive traffic. And now let's leave a little reaction. So I know you're still awake. There's 441 of you in here. This is just magical. Okay. Okay. One more, and then we're going to wrap up and take some questions. This is the fourth pillar. The fourth pillar is the pillar that makes all the difference. Okay. So 1, you built authority. 2, you're creating optimized content. 3, you're driving traffic. The fourth pillar, you must convert visitors to sales. You might hate sales with your life, but the reason why the New York Times list is not called the best writer, it's called the best selling author. You have to sell. Now, how you sell is completely up to you. You don't have to get on a call and sell people, right? You can sell through copywriting if you want to learn that skill. You can sell by sending free emails that gives more information. You can hire someone to sell. You can sell a course and not even talk to anyone. $50. There's 40,000 people that saw your content. 4,000 people hit your website. You can sell 30 people on $100 course, right? But you have to convert. Everything that you build must be built with revenue in mind. You have to convert. You have to convert. This is the pillar that most people mess up. I saw someone, this is a true story. I saw someone get 2,000 people on a wait list for a program they were building. In the form, they forgot to ask for everyone's email. They didn't sell anything. The company never took off. It just died. You have to convert. So as soon as you start driving traffic, the first thing you must collect, the holy grail of marketing and sales, is emails. You must collect emails. I always have. Emails. I have like 20 something to 30 something thousand emails at all times. You have to collect, you have to convert. There is no point of building authority, of doing this, of doing that, creating content every single day if you are not converting your traffic. And so converting becomes the holy grail, the fourth part the fourth pillar to actually making $100,000 a year on LinkedIn. If someone comes to you, you have, let's say there's all these different ways. You start creating content, you get to 20,000, 30,000 followers, right? Now you can start selling brand deals. At 20,000 followers, you can do a brand deal for $400, right? So you can go to a company and be like, hey, I already use your platform. Would you be open to me making a post for you for $400? If you want to make it even sweeter, you can say, I'll do 4 posts for $300 each, but you have to pay me up front. How much is that? $1,200. You just paid $1,200 for 18 minutes of work, which is half of your paycheck if you make 100K a year. Okay? So the final thing is you have to convert. You have to study what it takes to convert. How did all of my millions and millions of views? By the way, people have more views than I do. People have way more views than I do, which is fine. I don't compare myself to anyone. I'm just here to live my life and take care of my family. But those views have generated $1.1 million. That is conversion. Now, someone told me this week, they were like, Toby, do you know that you could have done $4 million if you were more intentional? I'm like, I mean, probably, but I'm such a nice guy. I give away like 90% of the stuff for free anyway. Right? Like, I didn't get into this for the money. It just happened. And then I made the most of it. But I'm telling you that you must convert. You must learn how to convert. If it's copywriting, you must learn. If it's selling, you must learn. If you cannot do it, you must bring someone on that can do it. There's no point of all of this if you, at the end of the year, still have no money, no extra money, nothing to show for it. Why did you do it? It doesn't mean you have to become the greatest salesperson. It doesn't mean that you have to bother everybody, but you have to generate revenue. Please, for the love of God, people, make money. Take care of your family. These companies are not going to save us. We have seen it already. January, 20-something companies did layoffs. What are we doing? We have to save ourselves. I feel like it's the end of the world, and I'm like warning everyone. Like, you got to do it. You got to take care of yourself. Okay? You must convert. This is the fourth pillar. First pillar. So write this down for me and leave a little emoji. 1, you have to build authority. People must care to listen to you. 2, you have to create optimized content. This is LinkedIn. It must be for LinkedIn. 3, you have to drive traffic. Never miss the chance to use the momentum in front of you. 4, you must convert. So just write down, I must convert. Okay. These are the 4 pillars. I use this for every business I've built ever since I learned this framework. Goes to $100,000 within 6 months. I help a lot of people. And I help people because I love helping people. Okay. But I have learned how to help people and take care of my family. I'm not some greedy corporation. I don't care to be. I will never be. I don't care. I want to help people and I want to make sure that they get to help themselves. I got a text this week from someone who took a screenshot, one of my students in my program, legitimate. They have less than 10,000 followers. He took a screenshot for me, and the screenshot was their January sales, which was over $18,000. I don't know if you caught that. Their January 1st to 31st, 2024 sales revenue for their side hustle. They work full time in a very small company. Their January sales was over $18,000, and the screenshot right under it said, "Thank you for changing my family's life." This is why we play this game. This is why we do this. They have kids, they have a wife, and this is the kind of message that I get. So I've mentioned the program a couple times. I'm about to open up the questions, and here is exactly what that program is before we go. I built the Founders Blueprint over 16 months. And what I did with the Founders Blueprint was I went, is it possible? Toby's special. Toby's special, fine. But is it possible? Is it possible to help other people create type of success Toby has created. And I worked with these people in detail to replicate my formula over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, 40 times. Okay. And I built that into an 8-week program. And this is not for you if you're just starting out your business and you've never made a dollar and you don't know what to do and you're confused. This is not the time. Okay. But if you're like, listen, I'm serious about scaling my side hustle. I'm serious about building my business and getting it to $50,000, $100,000, $500,000. I built it for who I was at that time. I was already hungry to leave corporate. I was already hungry to build my business. So this 8-week program has 4 sessions where I teach you the most technical parts of LinkedIn as confirmed by my results and LinkedIn employees. Literally the most technical parts of LinkedIn. Those are 4 group sessions. And then I have 4 sessions where me and my coach or a coach on my team will craft your entire business with you. How do you build authority? What angle are you taking? How do you create optimized content? What angle are you taking and how do you do it? And here are some templates. And we're going to optimize it for you for 8 weeks. You're going to submit your content and get it reviewed. Submit your content and get it reviewed. Submit your content, get it reviewed. Nothing goes out unless it is LinkedIn optimized. And then how do you actually convert to your business? How do you drive traffic and then convert revenue? And my guarantee, because I've done this now for 16 months, 40 people, my guarantee is that at the end of that program, you will be seen as an authority in your industry and you will have the ability to convert. You don't need, it's not about followers. A lot of the people I told you about today have less than 10,000 followers and some have less than 5,000. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not telling you Toby's results. I guarantee you that in 90 days, if you follow this formula, and if you commit yourself entirely to the process that I teach in the Founders Blueprint, which I'm going to post in the chat or in the comments of this event, I'm going to post the link to apply to Founders Blueprint. But if you will follow it to the T, okay, I guarantee you that you will be able to be seen as an authority in your industry within 90 days. I've spent 18 months crafting and something that I could guarantee, and that is it. So how the process works, I'm not an idiot. There's 382 of you here, and I'm not an idiot, okay? So I'm gonna work with, 3 people enrolled this morning. Again, if you know me, you know that I don't do like sales tactics. 3 people enrolled this morning. I'm taking a total of 20. 17 slots are left. We're kicking off the first week of March. We have a pre-launch call to meet everybody in the cohort the first week or the last week in February. Okay. And we're going to do 8 weeks of intense growth. So you can apply. I put the link in the comments. If you didn't see it, send me a personal message. I will send it to you. I'm not going to take everybody because I'm not an idiot, but I love the intimacy of 20 people going extremely detailed into building their lives to work. By the way, don't do this if you have not started and you want to be an employee and you want to accelerate your career. I'm going to do another event entirely dedicated to that because I crushed it in my career. This is for, I own a business. I want to own a business. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a solopreneur. I'm a B2B agency owner, whatever it is. But I want to use LinkedIn to generate revenue. This is for you. I've set up every payment plan you can think of, 2 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. I don't care. It's more about, is this going to change your life? Is this going to accelerate your business? Is this going to make your life more fulfilling if you can figure out how to use LinkedIn? This is what I have set up. And I am proud of it. And I'm the best at what I do because I've spent my 10,000 hours mastering this platform. And so now I want to help these 17 plus people do the same thing. I'm so grateful that you have all taken the time to spend here and to understand these 4 parts of the framework. I'm confident in what I'm teaching. Use it. It will help. Okay, so I'm going to open up the questions, and I am excited to dive into it. I'm not going anywhere today. My wife already made some dinner, so I'm good. Okay, and we're going to have it